Trial will begin next week in earnest. What's happening this week is strictly, but importantly, ceremonial. The impeachment managers marched 2 by 2 across the Capitol and delivered the articles of impeachment by hand. Today, the Sergeant-at-Arms proclaimed, "Hear ye, hear ye," and reminded the senators they must keep silent on pain of imprisonment. And then the formalities of the House, where the lead impeachment manager, Adam Schiff, read the charges. The Senate formally accepted the articles and the senators and the Chief Justice were sworn in. Joan Biskupic is the CNN's Supreme Court analyst. She joins me now. I was very taken and interested. You know, getting this right's important. And I noticed John Roberts, even before he took the office, stopped the leader, the president of the Senate, and stopped him and said, no, I have to do this first. I have to read my bit before you can administer the... Everybody's being very careful to get it right.
That's right. This is the easy part. This is the very scripted part of what we're going to see over the next couple of weeks. And there are the language that everyone is using today was used in 1999. It's standard language, and the chief has his role now as presiding officer. And as you know, the responsibility he has as he oversees the Senate trial is much different than what he does across the street at the Supreme Court. There, he's, of course, a judge, casting vote, deciding cases. Here, he is just making sure that the procedures run smoothly, and he is going to try to recede and let the senators take it their show.
So on questions like matters of evidence, whether something should be admitted, whether there should be witnesses and the like, the normal evidential issues of a judge, will he be ruling on those sort of things?
Okay, let me tell you, on paper, he has the ability to rule on those things. Starting with the baseline that it's the U.S. Constitution says that the Senate has the sole power to decide this. But the Chief Justice, under Senate rules that traced back many, many years but were formalized in 1986, the Chief Justice, as presiding officer, can make determinations on the relevance and materiality of evidence and witnesses. However, and this is a big caveat, any of his own rulings can be reversed by a majority of the Senate, again, sending the signal that it's the senators that decide things. Back in 1999, when Chief Justice William Rehnquist presided during the Bill Clinton trial, those kinds of hard questions about the nitty-gritty of witnesses and evidence did not come to the chief. It had already been ironed out between the majority leader and minority leader.
That's the big difference, of course, that took place in those days. Finally, briefly, it is interesting. I've got my copy of the Constitution here. It is interesting. It's only basically 2 paragraphs, part of Section 3. I mean, this whole thing, there may be rules and there may be procedures above it, but under Article 1, Section 3, it's just 2 paragraphs.
You know, that's right. And that's why, going forward, it's really the senators who will determine the rules. Now, again, there is precedent for how they conduct themselves, but all the U.S. Constitution says is that the Chief Justice shall preside when the president himself or herself has been impeached.